Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of ELM tutorial series. In last video you saw how to call a simple function. You actually call text function to print hello world on the web page. Okay, but how can you write a function? Well, first you have to write the function name and the parameters of that function takes a place right after that function name separated by space, and then comes the body of that function. Now I'm going to show you how to write a function for adding two numbers. So write the function name as add and then give two parameters by using one white space and then simply write a plus b. Here you can see that there is no return expression. So actually here no return expression needed actually. Basically the return expression is implicit in ELM. Everything you write is a part of expression and return a value. If you just want to call this add function from a new function, then unlike other function, it doesn't have or doesn't require any opening and closing parentheses like JavaScript, C or C++. So you just need to simply write result equals to and then give just a enter and tab and then simply write the function name, that is add, and pass two parameters, that is 1 and 2. Now to print this result, I must need to call it from main function. So if I just call it from main function and if I refresh the page, you can see some errors are there. Basically the error is all about you were returning a integer, right? But the text function only accepts a string. So somehow you need to convert it into a string. So to convert the integer to a string, you need to write string dot from int. So basically the from int I'm writing because we are receiving integer, right? And if I refresh that page, and you can see again some errors are there, and it is showing that I need to pass only one argument, that the text method only accepts one argument. So I need to wrap this whole typecasting into opening and closing parentheses. So just wrap inside the opening and closing parentheses and save it. Refresh the browser, and here you can see if I just zoom in, you can see that 3 is there. So suppose we need to add 3 numbers. So what can we do? We can simply call this add function and passing again the add function using two parameters and then the third one. That is what we want to add with those two numbers. And if I just save that and refresh my browser, you can see that 6 is there. So it is working, right? But it becomes more handy if you use forward pipe operator, which is kind of same pipe operation in Linux. Now let's see what is forward pipe operator. Here the value of left side expression is forwarded to a function on the right side. Now we can simply write this expression. Here if you notice, the add function accepts only two parameters, but here we have used only one. So here comes the rule of partial application. So now it becomes this one. Then the value of the left expression goes to the right as parameter. So now I'm just showing you doing the same thing using forward pipe operator. So I'm just commenting this line, then simply write add space 1 and 2 as parameter and then give that pipe operator and then simply write add 3. And if you save it and refresh the page, and you can see the same result is there. Now let's talk about some anonymous functions. So the anonymous functions in JavaScript is slightly different from the anonymous function in ELM. Some syntactical or some logical difference is there between the JavaScript anonymous function and the ELM anonymous function. We can define a anonymous function by giving a backslash followed by the parameters list, then arrow, and then the body. Let's create an anonymous function that returns true if the number passed into it is evenly divisible by 2. And for doing this, I had to comment this line and call that add method and also the parameters 1 and 2, and then the pipe operator, and then I had to give that slash a to define that it is an anonymous function, and then I have to write one arrow and then modify, and then as I had to divide by 2, I had to write 2 and then the a which I am getting from that add function, and just checking if it is 0 or not. And inside that main method, I'm just checking that the result is returning true or not. So you can see that the syntax, if the result is true, I have to write then, unlike any other programming language, and if it is satisfied, then I will simply print something like even, and else I'm going to print copying the above text as odd. Now save it, and if you refresh that browser, you can see the odd text is there because I have passed 1 and 2, and the sum of 1 and 2 always give one odd value. And if I change it to 2 and 2, it is giving me even. So enough for today. I hope you are enjoying this course. Please do subscribe if you like it. See you in the next one.